Exiting by time and profit in zero DTEs. Much of the flexibility of options comes from investors' freedom to manage trades. Closing winners can help increase the proportion of winning trades that has appeared to be the key to success for zero DTE trades. For 45-day expiration trades, we often combine this with existing positions at 21 DTEs. We exit early, win or lose. It helps limit downside risk. Will a parallel strategy work for zero DTE trades? Can we curtail our worst zero DTE losers by exiting all trades, win or lose, at a fixed time of the day? What do you think about that?
I've never seen it done before, so I would say no, it can't be done. Like, I don't think they're going to find, and I mean, an optimal time in the past is not going to work for an optimal time in the future. I think it'll just be random. I mean, maybe you can quantify it out versus risk versus reward when you're selling options. Maybe that makes buying options on the 0 days more advantageous for that moment. I think it's pretty random. I don't see how it can be.
I'm going to disagree.
Okay.
I'm going to say that I think we can curtail our worst DT losers by exiting all trades, win or lose, at a fixed time of the day. Meaning, what that means is we're not going to hold anything past noon, let's say, or past 11 o'clock.
I think it's going to be pretty de minimis.
Let's go to the next slide.
Yeah, it'd push you off the edge today. That's all.
18 months worth of data, 20 delta strangles at the opening each day, considered a variety of management techniques. Closing the winners at profit targets from 15 to 50% of all initial credit and exiting at a variety of fixed times. All times are standard, central standard time. And then all trades are assumed to exercise a mid-price, so you can subtract a few dollars, $10, $15, $20 if you want more realistic returns. Let's go to the next slide, because everything doesn't trade at mid-price, obviously. So first of all, managing winners at 15%. We've done this a bunch of times, but you can see here that managing winners at 15%, which is a very small number, because most of the time you're collecting, you're not collecting that much money in this case, but managing winners at 15%, whether you exit at noon, 11, noon, 1, 2, or no fixed exit time. This was all pretty good, okay, across the board.
Sure. I mean, this is where you're getting out by noon as a statistical.
Yeah, I mean, noon
fixed time. You make $13. I mean,
yeah, but noon was the best in this case. Okay, let's go next slide. So this is when you start to get you start to pump it up a little bit, and this time managing winners at 25%, which is a lot of people. That's kind of the wheelhouse. And if you see, it's funny. No fixed exit time. This would be what the bat kind of said. Okay, random. That was probably the best here, and noon also worked as well. The C bar is significantly lower if you exit at noon. You take out the outlier risk, basically. So the difference in exiting at noon is you take out the outlier risk. Everything else kind of worked. And again, these are 20 delta strangles. So far, so good.
Yep.
Let's go to the next slide. So now at 35%, and the funny thing is all these are winners, but the C bar is a lot higher later on. But with no fixed exit time and just...
I said you could probably look at risk versus reward and say that one of the fixed times is going to be better because of the CVAR. But you can see here, no fixed exit time. So far, that looks pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, noon looks pretty good if you include CVAR. If you don't include CVAR, no fixed exit time looks pretty good. I agree. I'm surprised by that, actually. Let's go to the next slide.
5.5 to 4.5 right now. That's how you agree. Like wholeheartedly, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And what's interesting here is that throughout this whole process, this is managing winners.
CVAR is only up by 50%, but your gains are 100%. So if you extrapolate it out, it's a big winner.
You want a biscuit? You want a cookie?
Where's my son? We had such a great show when you were gone, and we looked at things and agreed on them because they were right there on paper.
You want a cookie? I'll get you a cookie. Yeah, same situation for this page here. Noon works, but no fixed exit time.
This is 6 out of 7. Before you get to the takeaways, before you get to takeaways, please don't put them up yet. Would you like to admit that the bat was correct here?
Let's go to the takeaways. When placing zero DT trades at market open, deciding to get out before noon, win or lose, cut down on risk, but with a proportional drop in net average profits. Exiting later, however, was ineffective. Exiting trades at 2 p.m. did little to reduce CVAR, but gave up significant P&L compared to holding out to the close. So, Choosing the right management techniques for your account is a personal balance of risk and reward. But by examining past results, hopefully it can be an informed choice. The takeaway from here was
Mechanics, Osnoff. The takeaway is mechanics.
noon wasn't bad, but if you had to hold to the close in this case, it was also pretty good. You took more risk, but it was pretty good.